What do you need? What can I do for you?
Merci, monsieur.
Poirot, over here. I heard about the painting. Trouble just seems to follow you. If there's anything I can do to help.
I am looking for Madame Hélène. Would you know where I could find her?
If she's not on stage already or rehearsing, she'll be in her dressing room. That alleyway will take you to the back door.
Oh.
Oh, this isn't quite what I was expecting from a famous star like Betty Allen.
A famous star that is not on stage, nor in her dressing room.
You don't think something could have happened to her?
Combining the state of the room and her being absent, I fear something sinister may indeed be afoot. Ah. Aha. Huh. Huh. Oh. Aha. Ah. Oh.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
The fact that there are valuable items remaining in the safe leads me to believe that the thief was looking for something specifically. Meaning they had previous knowledge of the contents of Madame Hélène's safe. In effect, they must know Madame Hélène herself.
What do you need? What can I do? Why, Mrs. Allen? What can I do for you? Merci.
Where is the sense? Order and method. This will not get... I cannot see the lot. Things are beginning to become clearer. I must take a diff. Something just doesn't. Come, my little. I should consider. Come now. What a revelation! Is there something? I must act.
Oh.
What do you need? What can I... What can I do for you?
Merci.
The evidence suggests. Magnifique. The evidence suggests. Come, my little grape. I should consider this. One step closer to revealing the truth.
What do you need? What can I do?
Madame Allen was behind the mess that lies before us. Filled with rage, she...
What do you think you're doing in here? Security!
Pardon, Madame Allen. I do not wish to cause any alarm. I am Detective Poirot. You...
Yeah, I remember you. Doesn't give you the right to be snooping in here.
Snooping, no. Waiting patiently, oui.
You can wait outside. I'll talk to you there. Well, go on then, shoot.
Madame Allen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Look, let's just get on with this, shall we?
I promise not to take up too much of your valuable time.
Well, thanks to Johann walking off, I got stuck talking, a term I use loosely, with Mr. Aylesworth and the all-important bishop, as he likes to consider himself.
Where did your husband go?
Beats me. But when I saw him next, he was being attacked by that crazy artist.
I did, and while I do not condone such behavior...
If you are going to defend that woman's actions against my husband, I'll stop you there. Not really any of your business, is it?
I would not forgive myself if something improper had happened and I had not addressed it.
You've got nothing to worry about. I'm an emotional woman. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? I thought it was best to just get myself out of there. He may have bitten his tongue, but if I'd got my hands on her...
Your husband mentioned you were feeling under the weather, no?
Me? No.
Ah, je vois. May I also ask about the snuff box that was found?
I've heard the Brits like that stuff. Not for me, though. Sorry.
You have been most helpful.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
Merci. Ah. Mm-hmm.
I told you last time you made a mess of things that if anything else was to happen,
So, you are blaming me for the painting going missing. I have poured my heart and my soul into...
Pardon. Perhaps this is a conversation that should be had behind closed doors.
This conversation will happen where and when I want it to.
What Detective Poirot means is maybe somewhere a little less public would be a better place to have it.
I am well aware of what your foreign friend was implying, and I shall give you exactly the same answer.
Let us not say anything that one would later regret. A moment to breathe for everyone, perhaps.
You do as much breathing as you want, as long as you find that painting.
Mademoiselle, may I request a minute of your...
What can I do for...
Can you not see that we're busy?
Your Grace, there are matters we really must
You do understand my time is valuable, don't you?
Merci.
Oh.
What do you need? What?
Merci.
I don't think you quite understand the severity of the situation, Detective Inspector.
I'm well aware, and I'll conduct my investigation how I see fit.
That just isn't good enough. How would you feel if... who am I kidding? You could never afford something like that.
I can assure you Detective Inspector Hardwick and his men will be doing all they can to find your missing painting.
Now you have some officer from another country entirely fighting your battles for you?
I speak on behalf of no one but myself, monsieur.
And I didn't ask you. Hardwick, get it found.
Right you are. If you want to deal with him, fine by me. If you want to deal with him, fine by me.
Will you allow some officer a moment of your time?
I'm a very busy man.
And then I shall keep my question short.
I'd say the heart attack was the most memorable part of the day.
Quite understandable. But before that?
I was talking to the bishop, or rather being talked at. He doesn't see it, but he gets quite heated. That's the last thing I remember. I did. That man just wants someone to listen to his incessant ramblings. I just couldn't stand there and listen to him anymore. I decided to walk away and see the orrery from above. Then I met that young lady, Betty Allen.
You two spoke?
Briefly, but she was looking for her husband, so I think her mind was elsewhere.
I will not take up any more of your time. Mademoiselle.
What
Can you... I hope you'll get... heated? Who said that?
They are the words of Monsieur Ellsworth.
Oh, the man is in politics. He should know what heated looks like. Maybe I was a little... There was no one else around. How was I to know he was having a heart attack when he clutched his chest? It could have been anything. And when I saw he was in trouble, I went to get help.
I do not believe Bishop Mountjoy was the instigator of Monsieur Ellsworth's heart attack, but it appears he does. He is quite rigorously trying to convince himself he is not to blame.
Merci, Your Grace.
What do you need?
Merci.
Hello? Who's that?
Bonjour, madame.
You're not English. Where are you from? What are you doing here?
Madame, I am Detective Hercule Poirot of the Kingdom of Belgium's police force.
So what?
I was hoping to speak with a neighbor of yours. Mademoiselle...
She's not in? Are you waiting for her?
Do you know how long she...
You can give her this. And tell her I did what I could with it.
I will be sure to do that. Adieu, madame.
Ah. Aha.
What do you need? What can I do?
Merci.
You're just full of questions, aren't you?
You have...
Huh. Huh.
What do you need? What can I...
Merci.
You're just full of questions.
You have been...
I hope you're getting some.
Mais
What can I do? He knows just how to push. He knows what this museum means to me.
that is clear to us all.
He thinks he can say and do what he wants because of his position. But if he thinks he can get rid of me that easily, this museum is my life. And if anyone, including him, tries to do anything to jeopardize that, I won't be held responsible for my actions. I'm sorry. The detective inspector was quite adamant I wasn't to allow anyone in.
Detective Hercule Poirot is not just any man, mademoiselle.
And modest to boot. I suppose it can't hurt. Follow me. There you go.
The key. It is in a far better condition than yesterday.
It was looking grubby and covered in rust, so I cleaned it. Is that a problem?
If you find anything else that may be of importance to the investigation, I ask that you leave it as you found it.
Huh. Aha. Aha. Oh. Mm-hmm. Huh. Ah. Huh. Huh. Hmm. Aha. Ah. Oh. Huh.
Come now. This will not get me. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. The answer was staring me in the face. Is there something I am not seeing? Order and method. Something just...
When the thief entered this room from the west wing, there was no paint on the key. We know this because there was no paint on the key when they used it on the door to the gallery. But there is paint on the key when the thief locks the west wing door after stealing the painting, telling us...
The key got covered in paint in this room.
Oui. And only after the painting was stolen. So, what happened in between locking the door to the gallery and leaving this room to lock the west wing door? The picture is becoming clearer, and the paint is the key. The thief unlocked the door from the west wing into this room, unlocked the door to the gallery, and stole the painting. They then returned, whereupon they laid the painting on the desk. The thief locked the door and returned to the painting. But then, an accident. They dropped the key into the palette of paint.
How can you be so sure?
We know because the paint palette was the only source of blue paint in the room that the key could have dropped in.
But why put the painting on this table, where items may be knocked or where they may be heard? Perhaps the answer is before me on the desk.
Huh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Aha. Aha.
What do you need? What can I do for you? What can I do for you?
Merci.
Ah. Huh.
Gentlemen, have you seen Miss Babanian? She wanted to speak with me after the bishop was finished chewing my ear off, but it seems the pair of them have disappeared.
I'm afraid not.
Can't have been that important then.
If you want to deal with him, fine by me.
I suppose
I will not take...
I hope you'll get...
What can I do for you?
What do you need? What can I...
Merci.
Gentlemen, have you seen Miss Babanian? She wanted to speak with...
I'm afraid not.
Can't have been that important.
What do you need?
Merci.
Ah. Oh. Huh. Hmm.
What can I do for you?
Merci.
You're just full of questions. Where did you get that?
It was found in a vent at the museum. Perhaps the very last thing I expected to find.
Yes. Well, thank you. I knew I had lost it somewhere.
A clearly valuable ring has just been returned to Madame, and she acts as though it means nothing to her.
And I would not describe throwing a ring at one's husband resulting in it being stuck in a vent as a case of losing it.
It is clear Madame Hélène felt no sickness at the gala, rather anger. In a moment of rage, she threw her ring at her husband before exiting the museum. And having seen the damage that she has caused in her own dressing room, one can conclude that it was the state of her marriage that allowed her emotions to get the better of her and act so rashly.
You have been most helpful.
The detective inspector will now be able to see as plain as day that Mademoiselle Court Smythe is the guilty party. Now to find him.
With the other remaining guests' movements all accounted for, she was the only one capable of making haste with the painting.
Ah, Detective, you're here.
Look and you shall find. How may I be of assistance?
Oh, well, I've had the photographs from the Garda developed.
That's good thinking, Miss Farquhar.
Oui, very kind, mademoiselle. There is nothing left for us to do but to take our findings to Detective Inspector Hardwick.
Do you think he'll listen?
It is his duty as a high-ranking officer of the law. We shall not be ignored. We have done all but arrest Mademoiselle Court Smythe for him. If it is the accolade that he desires, he may have it.
I was thinking that while you were speaking with Miss Court Smythe, I could try and find Mr. Christensen at their home.
It would certainly be more efficient. An excellent idea.
Him with a funny accent. He was here earlier asking the same questions. All I want is a bit of peace.
I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required immediately.
Good Lord, Poirot, that's a lot of smoke.
And now you are up to speed with the situation. I have evaluated the position we find.
If you're going to use the fire extinguisher, now would be the time.
Très bien.
That's it. One more should do it.
Detective Inspector, it is imperative we search the crime scene as soon as possible.
You mean my crime scene?
If I may, I can count on one hand how many crime scenes I have seen in my life, and although they are somewhere I don't wish to spend too much time, As the representative of Lloyd's of London Bank, it is my responsibility to handle all matters regarding the now stolen painting.
A weak attempt, but I've got more on my plate than dealing with some paper pusher getting his knickers in a twist. You've got until I return to do whatever it is you need to do. And if I find one thing out of place...
You may question my authority in this case, but I will not have my professionalism questioned.
Whatever you say.
Oh. Huh. Aha. Huh. Oh. Aha. Ah. Huh. Oh. 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 Aha. Aha. Huh. Huh. Ah. Huh. Huh.
From analyzing the victim's body, I can conclude that the cause of death was not dead by the flames.
Not by the flames? Then what?
That is what we are yet to determine.
Another success.
Monsieur Hastings, of course. What can I do?
From analyzing the victim's body, I can...
Not by the flames? Then what?
That is what we are yet to determine.
What can I do for you? Mr. Poirot, you are a genius. What can I do for you? That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn. What can I do for you? That would never have even occurred to me. What can I do for you?
Let us...
Where is the sense? I cannot see the lot. I must act. I must take a Logical thinking shall always. Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Aha. Oh. Oh.
Didn't you speak with her neighbor before? Might she be able to help?
Hot on the culprit's heels.
Is it that copper again? What do you...
I was hoping to ask you some questions regarding the fire. May I ask your name?
You aren't coming in. You can get that into your head now. Mrs. Colsham. Camilla Colsham.
Merci, Madame Colsham.
She hardly had any visitors, but yesterday it was like she had a sign up offering out free ale.
If you would be so kind as to talk us through the events as you remember them.
Well, I saw her leaving with a couple of paintings under her arm. You've seen her work? Not really my cup of tea. Then there was that posh-looking chap. I heard him before I saw him. Like an elephant on those stairs. Next came the professional-looking fella. He's got some money in those pockets, that's for sure. I saw him leaving with a painting, too. Oh, and the argument with another man? I couldn't hear what it was all about, but he had a set of lungs on him.
You are doing a wonderful job, Madame Colsham.
You can keep the patronizing tone to yourself. She must have turned her radio up to disguise what they were saying, but I tell you this, I'd rather have listened to them than that racket. It wasn't long before he was storming down the stairs. I don't think he'd heard the expression light-footed before.
Would you be able to remember any other details of the gentleman?
Through this people, you can barely tell who's man and woman. I didn't hear her leave, but when I heard that door downstairs slam, I knew it was her. I opened my door and gave her what for. And you know what she did? She waved me off, bottle of bubbles in hand, ranting about being dry. She looked 2 sheets to the wind, if you ask me. Only after did she turn the radio down. I wasn't going to waste the peace and quiet, and I got ready for bed. I was getting right into the exciting bit of my book. Perkins' first one, you know. I do like Perkins. Well, that's when I first smelt the smoke coming from the hall. And then you lot showed up.
Merci, madame. You have been most accommodating.
Oh, and I found this in the garden. It's obviously hers. I was going to put it through her letterbox, but, well...
The cork from a champagne bottle. It would not be a giant leap to assume this came from Mademoiselle Courtsmythe's apartment. A smell lingers on the cork. Bitter almonds.
Merci, Madame Colcham.
Come now. Voila.
Ah. Huh.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
Let us...
What do you need? Almonds? I've never had champagne that tasted of almonds.
One would hope not. Mademoiselle's lips may hold the missing clue we require.
Of course, the painting. Irene had made forgeries of the Penitent Magdalene painting and was likely selling them for a pretty penny, I might add. It wasn't an accident. It was set on purpose, using turpentine to douse any evidence of them being there, and the forgery.
An almost perfect execution, had we not arrived in time before the evidence had burned away.
But why try and get rid of the necklace?
Spoken like a true detective.
What can I do for you?
Let us...
Ah. Huh. Oh.
I cannot see the logic. Logical thinking shall always prevail. Come, my little... Something just... I must act...
Aha. Oh. Ah. Huh.
What do you need? I don't know if I'm cut out for this.
Take your time. Consider what we have seen and learnt of Mademoiselle Courtsmith's time here yesterday.
Okay, firstly, we know that she had a number of visitors and an argument with one of them. Among these visitors, one left with a painting. Perhaps another forgery.
Très bien.
Irene wasn't drinking alone, and whoever she was drinking with likely poisoned her. The killer used a syringe to inject a liquid form of the poison through the cork and into the bottle.
Potassium cyanide. Traces of the compound can be found in nature, but dangerous levels, such as those present, can be detected by its notable almond smell.
And she fell victim shortly after in her chair. What are you going to tell him?
The truth. He may hope for a simple and somewhat convenient version of events, but he cannot ignore the facts that we shall present.
My crime scene still intact?
Of course, Detective Inspector. There is something that...
There's nothing more to say.
Pardon, Detective Inspector. The truth is that Mademoiselle Irene Courtsmith was murdered.
Right you are. I'll be sure to make a note.
But you won't.
Excuse me? Are you forgetting who you're talking to?
He is well aware of your authority and your capability of coming to the same conclusion. We only wish to inform you of our findings.
Well, my men have been in, as have I, and I've concluded that the mademoiselle, as you so elegantly called her, made off with the painting and decided to have a few drinks to celebrate. She passed out drunk in the chair, candle still lit, and the place went up like a match.
Detective Inspector, s'il vous plaît.
Who are you calling simple?
He's not calling you simple, he's saying that isn't how it happened. How can you ignore the bottle of champagne that had been tampered with? The smell of poison on the cork.
You're both experts in poison now, are you?
I do not wish to stand here and argue credentials. Mademoiselle Court Smythe was killed, not by the fire that burned through her home, but at the hands of another. Her drink, laced with potassium cyanide.
Quite the imagination you two have.
Look, we can show...
No. We shall leave the Detective Inspector to discover the truth for himself. Detective, adieu. Monsieur Hastings, you must learn which battles are worth the fight. Besides, we have no time to stand squabbling with him. We have a murder to solve.
That was quite a night. I feel exhilarated, yet exhausted. Triumphant at what we have discovered, but more...
It is being able to control those emotions and still see the bigger picture that separates the best detectives from those that merely like the thought of such responsibility.
So do you think it must have been one of the guests at the gala?
An accomplice disguised as a guest turned murderer. A master criminal they may appear to be, but they have never crossed paths with Belgium's greatest detective.
I think I just felt a chill.
Now we must speak with the guests of the gala again, as well as find Monsieur Christiansen, who has continued to evade my questions. I have no doubt one or more of them will hold the answers we require regarding the death of Mademoiselle Court Smythe. Mademoiselle, do you have a moment to spare?
Of course, Detective. I'm hoping you have some good news for me. Goodness. You've found the painting, haven't you?
A painting was recovered. A forgery, but it was damaged by the fire.
What on earth are you talking about? Forgery? Fire?
It ran rampant through Mademoiselle Court Smythe's apartment.
She's... dead. She would never be so... But with all of those flammable paints and... No!
Mademoiselle Warbeck appears quite distraught at the news. Perhaps I should have considered the nature in which it was delivered.
I respected her as an artist and a friend.
I do not wish to push Mademoiselle Warbeck too far while in such a state. But as a friend, I must know if she was aware of Mademoiselle Court Smythe's plan.
Perhaps, as a friend, she let slip of her plans.
Her plan for what? Stealing the painting? Making a forgery? Do you really think I'd let her do that?
She must have had help from someone she trusted.
If she did, it wasn't me she confided in. I've been here trying to calm down the trustees.
You did not leave the museum?
I was here until the early hours. After the meeting, I wrote a letter to my father. I wanted his advice on what to do. Excuse me, gentlemen. I must go and make a phone call to an artist. I shan't be long.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Bartholomew! Here, puss. Where are you? Bartholomew! Enough now! Out you come! I'm sorry, I just don't have time to talk now. I have to find Bartholomew.
Have you placed a missing persons report?
Really, Detective? Bartholomew is the church cat. I think a missing persons report might be a little overboard.
I am sure with our assistance we shall find him in half the time. And then, perhaps you will have time to answer my questions.
Fine. All that matters now is that we find him. His name is Bartholomew, and I'd appreciate it if you spoke of him as such.
Pardon. When did you last see Bartholomew?
Better. Well, you see, the poor creature took an interest in my easel. He leapt up, knocking over some of my supplies, and gave himself a fright. He bolted out of sight, and I've not seen him since.
Merci, Your Grace.
Oh.
Where is the sense? Is there something? This will not get me. The pieces of the puzzle are finally...
Monsieur Hastings, of course. What can I... That would never have even occurred to me. What can I do for you? Merci.
Oh, I didn't think I... Yes, Thomas, one of my parishioners, would usually have sorted that for me. But he decided this weekend, of all weekends, was...
Where did you say the glass was broken?
The easel. I was painting, and Bartholomew was obviously in a boisterous mood and knocked over the water jar.
Merci.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
What do you need? What can I... What can I do for you? Merci.
Aha. Huh.
The evidence suggests... I should consider... I must take a dip... Magnifique. Voilà. Order and method. Where is the sense in that? I must act. What a revelation!
What do you need?
I question whether the bishop's version of events is accurate. Perhaps he threw the glass jar at Bartholomew because he was on the altar.
I know that's how it looks, but I can't imagine someone being so cruel. What tells us where the cat ran to next? Poirot, you are a genius. How can we know where the cat ran to next? Poirot, you are a genius. What do you need? What can I...
Merci. Merci.
Ah. Oh. Aha. Oh. Oh.
What do you need? What can I...
Ah. Huh.
What do you need?
Mess.
Monsieur Aylesworth.
Ah, a detective that actually seems to be doing something to find my painting. What can I do for you? Quite well, thank you.
The infirmary discharged you already?
With a clean bill of health. I didn't want to wait around using up valuable resources.
An honorable gesture.
I was straight off to the House of Commons. I take it you haven't read today's newspaper?
I'm afraid I have had more pressing matters.
It certainly makes for an interesting read.
I was not aware reporters were permitted inside the house.
They aren't. I left and went to the London Illustrated News office. I gave my statement there. I can't for the life of me remember the chap's name. Rather pleasant, though. Anyway, you're a busy man. I'd hate to take up too much of your time.
It does not take a great detective to pick up on Monsieur Aylesworth's ever so subtle hint.
Is this about the insurance claim? It was merely a necessary precaution. I'm sure with you on the case, it won't be long before it's returned.
I do not doubt my abilities to return the painting, but I question why he felt it necessary to talk of sensitive details regarding the investigation to a national news outlet. It would not surprise me to learn of him using his loss for cynical gain.
I assume you saw the article in the paper?
Oui, monsieur. A fantastic opportunity for you to express your political opinions.
Oh, the people must know what I stand for. I'm here for them.
I will not take up any more of your time.
Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
I was hoping to speak with Mademoiselle Farquhar.
I'm afraid she already has her hands full with the story. Unless you've come with a bigger one than what she's working on. Perhaps another time, gentlemen. We really are very busy. Perhaps another time, gentlemen. We really... Perhaps another...
I will not take up any more of your...
Aha.
What do you need? That sounds rather ominous.
I would not ask you to do something I would not consider doing myself. Only on this occasion it is I that must execute the other part of the plan.
What do you need me to do?
Madame Hélène, you must hold her attention while I take the opportunity to look around.
I certainly can. I'll appeal to her love of attention. Mrs. Allen, that photograph there, is that really you on a live film set? What do you need? What can I do?
Merci.
Gentlemen, what can I...
I will...
What can I do for you, Well, detective.
A surprise, monsieur?
I wasn't expecting to be on the receiving end of an interrogation. I had nothing to do with the fire or her death.
You are aware of Mademoiselle Court-Smythe's demise?
There isn't much in this city I don't know about. And for your little notepad, or wherever you're storing the facts, that report... Farquhar, she was in the office and can confirm I was there.
It appears that Monsieur Aylesworth is more preoccupied with proving his innocence than showing any compassion for Mademoiselle Court-Smythe herself.
I will not take up any more of your time.
What do you need? What can I...
Voila. Your Grace, now that Bartholomew has been found, would you...
As my way of thanks, I'll answer your questions. Very well. Get on with it. I hope that comes from an inquisitive nature rather than a place of accusation.
You mean Mademoiselle Warbeck?
Who else? She's running that museum into the ground.
And following the meeting?
I returned to the church to prepare for Compline prayers, although I don't think I was alone.
You don't think?
I got the feeling that someone had followed me from the museum. None. I knew her merely by reputation, and a questionable one at that. Do you want to tell me what all these questions are about?
Mademoiselle Court-Smythe was murdered last night.
If you plan on being the bearer of such news, perhaps you should think of going about it with a little more civility. How did the young girl die?
There was a fire in her apartment, although it wasn't the flames that took her life, but poison.
Arson and poisoning. What is this world coming to?
Bishop Mountjoy claims he barely knew Mademoiselle Court-Smythe, but still showed a level of empathy I was not expecting. Perhaps I judged his blunt facade too quickly.
Oh, found it? Really? Oh, heavens be! The Lord has shown his will once more.
I can only assume his delayed excitement came from being off guard. Unfortunately, I must turn his elation into disappointment.
If your grace would allow me to finish. A forgery of it was found in Mademoiselle Courtsmith's apartment, but it was destroyed in the fire.
She was the thief all along? Well, that just... A forgery? You mean she made a copy of it?
It appears that way.
I will rightly light a candle for her soul this evening. But that will not give her absolution from what she faces, kneeling before our Lord.
What do you need? What can I... What do you need? What can I...
Merci.
Huh. Oh.
What do you need?
Gentlemen, what?
I was hoping to speak with... I will not...
What can I do for you?
I will not...
Huh.
Bonjour, madame. Do you have a moment to...
You bet something's happened! That slime bag! How dare he say my performance was mediocre!
I'm sure he didn't mean...
That's it! I give up. I'm done with this acting. With this sitting.
Take a deep breath. One man's opinion, and a wrong one at that, is not powerful enough to topple a career like yours.
You're right. Let him think what he wants. I'm sorry. I'm an actress. It's my prerogative to be a little overdramatic.
Very impressive, Monsieur Hastings. A position in negotiations would suit you well.
Is there something I can help you both with? You do know what I do, don't you? I was on stage, performing in front of a packed house.
I did not mean to.
Zach. He was there. You two seemed pretty friendly. He'll tell you. So will that Russian lady from the gala. She was with him.
Monsieur Demir and Mademoiselle Babagne. Together. Très bien.
Oh, he's already seen it. I told him he didn't have to come.
A supportive husband indeed.
Yeah, real supportive. Your guess is as good as mine.
It is most important that I speak with him.
Then you've got a missing painting and a missing husband on your hands because I haven't seen him. Look, I don't think I can take much more today.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe was found murdered last night.
Okay.
I thought perhaps the news would be a little more jarring.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't really want to hear about anyone dying, but me and her...
Madame Allen's nonchalant response has certainly caught me up.
You have been most helpful.
You're just full of questions.
You have been...
What do you need? What do you need? What can I...
Merci.
Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
I was hoping...
Let's not be so hasty. That could be just what we need.
Gentlemen, What can I do for you?
This is your office. It's very impressive.
Mademoiselle, would you have time to answer some questions?
I don't really have time right now. Perhaps we can schedule...
I assure you I shall remain focused and my questions relevant.
Fine. Make it fast. Is she all right?
I'm afraid not.
Heavens. How awful. Did she have any close relatives?
I do not believe so. And her parents have both passed also. She was the last remaining court Smythe.
A question I did not expect. Although at least she is showing some form of compassion for Mademoiselle Court Smythe's family, or lack thereof.
I only met her recently in a professional capacity. What are they...
I cannot say, but they may not be as forthcoming with her work now.
I'm sorry, Detective. I don't understand.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe was behind the painting's disappearance, and a forgery was discovered in her apartment.
So she stole the original and made a forgery? What heavens for?
That we are still yet to learn.
Am I a suspect?
We are just trying to gather all the information. Isn't that right, Poirot?
Oui, that is correct.
I'm sorry. It's just a lot to take in at once. I was working late into the evening yesterday. I had to get my article on the gala written. And the photographs, there was probably someone still around in the office if you wanted to check. I'm sure you want to have every I dotted and T crossed. Really? I must have been so busy not to notice him. At least you can be sure of where I was.
Was there anyone else present in the office?
If Mr. Aylesworth was there, Nathaniel, my editor, must have been.
It strikes me as rather strange that Mademoiselle does not recall seeing such an important figure in the office. But not everyone can be as observant as I. I shall speak with the editor, as he will be...
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now. If you would be so kind.
What can I do for you?
You're just full of questions.
You have...
What do you need? What can I... What do you need? What do you need?
Aha. Aha.
It looks like she was telling the truth after all.
About composing the letter, oui. But we cannot confirm where it was penned.
What's all this other stuff? I don't think it's from the letter to her father.
It seems we have stumbled across the names and addresses for the guests of the gala. Although we have gathered all the information we can from the guests at the gala. All except...
Betty's husband, Mr. Christensen.
Oui. We are now in possession of his address, where he is no doubt hiding like a frightened young boy avoiding his headmaster's ruler.
What do you need? What can I do?
What can I do for you?
I will not...
Oh.
Voila. And just like that, the address of Monsieur Christiansen's apartment.
Remind me why we've lied our way into a man's apartment while he's not here?
Monsieur Christiansen was accused of harassing a young lady who has now been murdered, and he has not been seen since, even by his wife. Does that not strike you as peculiar?
Do you really think he could be capable of murder?
I believe everyone is capable, under the right circumstances. And right now, I believe Monsieur Christiansen is in that position. While we have no suspect to question, let us use our time wisely and search for clues. Leave no stone unturned.
Monsieur Hastings, of course. What can I will...
Huh. Huh. Aha. Aha.
What do you need? What can...
Monsieur Christiansen was at the scene of the crime smoking with Mademoiselle Court Smythe before her death. Could he be the holder of the original Penitent Magdalene painting? He may very well have hidden it here.
Huh. Ah. Huh. Oh.
What do you need? What can I do?
Gentlemen, you're back.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Detective Hercule Poirot of the Kingdom of Belgium's police force.
You should have led with that before. Nathaniel Dryden, editor of the London Illustrated News.
My apologies. I was not aware of your position on our initial meeting.
That's quite all right. You were still more polite than most of the people that come through my door. What can I do for you? I did, but that was supposed to be an exclusive. How did you know?
It is a detective's job to know such things.
Doesn't really explain how, but okay. He said he had something to tell me that was going to blow me away. I couldn't say no. Indeed, she was. Although she was working on her own story, so I left her to it.
At no point did she leave the office?
She's a very hard worker and won't leave until the story is just how she wants it. Needless to say, she outstayed me. She had photographs to develop too, so was in the dark room for some time. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but I have another appointment. This place is usually full of all sorts that think they have a story for us, or want to know more about something we've published. I was meaning to mention that to Florence, actually.
Mention what, monsieur?
A young foreign girl came in asking about a piece that was on show at the museum. Originated in Eastern Europe somewhere, and Florence had written an article on it.
Did she say why she was so interested?
She said she was researching its journey from its first home with an affluent family. I forget the name. I couldn't tell her much more, besides that it was going to be moved from the museum shortly. No doubt into another exhibition somewhere.
Could this inquisitive young woman have been Mademoiselle Babagna? But why so curious about that particular piece of jewelry?
Merci. You have been most accommodating.
Oh.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Is everything all right?
It's not that. I just cannot understand how such historically relevant pieces like this remain in British hands. It doesn't belong here.
I'm sorry, mademoiselle. I do not have the answer. I'm sure they are well maintained, if that is any consolation.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sure this is the last thing you wish to be talking about. Well, after it was all cut short rather abruptly, we made our way to Mrs. Allen's play.
Oui, mademoiselle?
Mr. Demir and myself. We were all at a loose end, and he was kind enough to invite me. Oh, I wasn't aware Mr. Hastings was to be the focus of Florence's article.
On the contrary, it is only one of many she took at the gala. What interests me is the brooch.
Would you believe I found it? Amazing how careless some people can be.
And you were intending on returning it?
Of course. It just slipped my mind with all the commotion of the painting.
Mademoiselle Kortsma no longer requires it. I shall hold on to it for now.
Yes, and it was something that I wanted to speak with you about, actually. At the gala, I spoke with the bishop and he mentioned a painting he had seen last year. But it was one that I'd read had been stolen. He couldn't have seen it when he said, unless... Well, it didn't sit well with me. So when Evelyn escorted you both to the restoration room and he left, I stayed well back, and the bishop is hardly the most threatening. I followed him into his church, but he was gone. I looked everywhere, but he was nowhere to be seen. It was like he just evaporated.
He is a man of God, not a magician.
I don't know what to say. He wasn't there. I decided to wait outside, but when he eventually left, he had a wrapped package under his arm.
You have been most helpful, mademoiselle. I shall not take up any more of your time.
Oh. Aha.
What do you need? What can I do?
I will...
Ah. Huh.
What do you need? What can...
I will not...
What do you need? What can I...
I will...
Poirot, good to see you.
The feeling is mutual, Monsieur Demire.
You and your formalities. Let's talk over here.
Is everything all right?
Miss Farquhar is interviewing Betty. I thought we should talk privately over here. I heard about Irene. Tragic news. And what's this I hear about poison?
Who told you that?
It doesn't take long for news like that to spread in this city.
I would appreciate some discretion between friends. But Mademoiselle was poisoned.
Anything I can help with? I won't take offense, as I know you're just doing your job. I attended the evening performance of Betty's show. Anastasia and I had a grand old time.
She accompanied you as your date?
She was at a loose end after the gala. Don't worry, I'm not here to tread on any toes. I mean, he can hold a conversation of...
You do not think particularly highly of him.
I've never had a problem with him before. Look, I ran into him last night in a bar after the show, and he was trying to sell me a lucrative business opportunity. A way we could both make some quick money.
Did you take him up on his offer?
God, no. When someone offers you something that sounds too good to be true, it usually is. That was some weekend. You should get him to tell you about it sometime.
Bragging is a sign of overconfidence and grandiose behavior.
You know, at first I found those kind of replies annoying. But now, charming almost.
I shall accept that as both a compliment and a sign of your maturity.
If it wasn't for the detective here, I would probably still be wallowing in my own anger and self-pity.
You have lived a life many of us have only heard about in stories. A life that we all hope no one will have to live again.
I second that.
Your family must be proud of the man you have become, as am I. I will not take up any more of your time. I do not mean to interrupt.
Then perhaps you should wait until we have finished.
I do not mean to interrupt.
Then perhaps...
I do not mean to...
Then...
What do you need? What can I...
I will...
Huh. Ah.
What do you need?
I...
It would be my pleasure.
You have been most helpful, mademoiselle.
Aha. Oh. Ah. Aha.
What do you need? What can I... What do you need?
I would... I do not mean...
Then...
I do not...
Then...